Good evening. This is David Lynn, your prepper principal, and this is another edition of Taco Talk, number 21, on Sunday, December the 10th, 2023. Idaho Garden Girl, welcome. KP Heathen, Verna's Place in the Cold War Prepper. Nice group coming in. Holly Ivans, thank you for coming in. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. Well, I went from having 5 in the house to 1 in the house. Well, I hope everybody's still here. I'm showing 1 right now. Hmm. I'm feeling better. I'm still coughing. I still have a runny nose, a lot of slime, but hopefully I'm doing better. Yeah, I assume, YouTube, the algorithm, it's been messed up lately. It'll show way more likes than you actually have on a video. And I don't think it's getting the watch hours right. I don't think it's doing the watch hours right. I don't know what to tell you. Uncle Al, Die Bullfrog, thanks for coming. Well, I have 1 more week before I get out for Christmas break, and then I'll have like 16, 17 days off for Christmas. I get out this Friday the 15th. We have half a day, and then I've got to get my grades in for the semester. Everything's got to be already been completed. Um, and then I have to go back Tuesday the 2nd. New Year's is on a Monday, and I go back on Tuesday. So I have like 17 days, which I will enjoy. I have I've been ordering stuff for Christmas. Been ordering things that you'd consider to be preps or things that you consider to be for use in an emergency or after something bad happens. I'm looking at doing some upgrades and some stuff. I've also been looking into the long-term preps, shelf life, and various things. Some of the freeze-dried foods that you buy have reportedly a 10-year shelf life. It's not all 30-year shelf life. Like peanut butter powder, they say has a 10-year shelf life. But I tell you, I've eaten some 20-year-old peanut butter and it was just fine. You know. A lot of it comes down to how do you store stuff. What sort of temperature do you store stuff at? Don't let it get hot. Don't let it get hot. Keep it cool. And stuff will last a lot longer. Keep it out of direct sunlight. You make lists of stuff that you want. I'm planning on buying at least one more shotgun 20 gauge pump. I had given my daughter a Remington 20 gauge pump shotgun. The Bud Files, hello. Don't worry about it. That's good, Verna. Bus stop. Merry Christmas. Well, a while ago I had 5 and it said I had 1. You're saying you're showing 6, I'm showing 9. I don't know. There's a few of us. It would help if those of you who are here who have not would go ahead and give me a like. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I'm showing, Lee. 9 with 6 likes. 7 likes. Yesterday I had 21. Just to show you the way I keep track of this stuff. So yesterday, I had my snapshot, and my snapshot said I had 45 views. So I had listed all the names of the channels that had come in and left at least one comment, and there were 21 channels that had came in left at least one comment. And then it said I had a chat rate of 0, which I don't think I had a chat rate of 0. And then peak concurrents were like 13. Said average view duration was 10 minutes and 51 seconds. And I did just a little bit over an hour. Oh, I was looking at my statistics, and I have like 560 some odd watch hours for the last 28-day cycle right now. I was up around 590, and then it dropped down. For one thing, I went for like 3 days where I did not do any live stream. I did not do a live stream for 3 days, and that affects it a little bit. Otherwise, I figure I would have been over 600. So today I went and got some cards, Christmas cards. Went and got some new Sharpies. And I sent my daughter to go buy a dozen Starbucks cards. I'm going to give $25 Starbucks cards to, folks at work, different people. Little Lone Prepper. And Little Lone Prepper, I did not find your email, but I found your address that you'd previously sent me, because I know I sent you something here a while back. So I do have your address. Holly, I do not have your address. So if you're wanting Santa to send you something other, you better get me your address. Email it to me, please. Check my description, any of my videos, and I always put my email in there. And I will be sending you those. What I'm going to do, bus stop, is I'm just going to order a case of MREs, and I'm going to have the shipping address, that address you gave me. I'm just going to use that address for the delivery to have it sent to you. So one of the things I'm planning on doing, as far as upgrading, I still have an AGM battery bank out in my kitchen. Configured 12-volt batteries, and I'm planning on removing them, and I'm going to go back in with lithium. Lithium, the lithium ion, they'll be good for 10 years worth of life cycles before they drop down to 80%. So I'm planning on replacing those with 3 100 amp hour. 100 amp hour is like 1300 watts. So what that means is that in 1 hour you can basically draw 1300 watts from it for 1 hour, continuous wattage for 1 hour. And 3 of them would be like 3900, right in the neighborhood of 4000 watts, 3.9 kilowatts. And you think, whoa, that's a lot of power. Not really. Not really. The house probably uses, depending on circumstances, between 15 and 30 kilowatts a day. Am I running the AC? Am I running the central heat? Central AC, what am I running? When you're running, 240 volt stuff, 220 volt stuff, draws a lot more power. Your water heater is going to be, if you got electric water heater, your stove is going to be, your central heat is going to be, hit central heat, your AC system, that's going to be 220. And that's a lot of power when they're running. Ia, thank you for coming in, Ia. Mike Rise. I haven't been paying attention. Smashing machines in the house, Mike Rise. Ia McVog. I visited her live stream recently. Kano Joe, thanks for coming in, Kano Joe. 13 in the house, 9 likes. Yeah, it was in the 40s here today, upper 40s. And windy, dry, windy. You listen to the mass media, they keep talking global warming. It's the hottest it's ever been since the Industrial Revolution and all this, crap. Supposedly the planet's averaging 3 degrees higher than normal. And basically what's happening, we're in a cycle. We're always in a cycle. The sun's in a cycle. The earth is in a cycle. The galaxy's in a cycle. We rotate around the galaxy, our system. We rotate around the sun. Everything's cyclical. And the sun cycles, puts out more power, puts out less power. They call it the solar maximum and the solar minimum. It's like an 11-year cycle that the sun rotates through. And then the poles are in the process of shifting. There's going to be a pole shift. It's coming. It's been coming for a while. It's been coming for 100 years, It's still coming. And yeah, I know global warming is a hoax. They talk about the horrible climate and everything. They must think people are stupid, and a lot of people are. When I was a kid, and I grew up in Corpus Christi, hurricanes were a hell of a lot worse. We'd get hit every couple of years. We'd get hit with bad hurricanes. Bad hurricanes. And everybody was getting hit with hurricanes. It's not near as bad as it used to be. Yeah, there'll be a few bad hurricanes. And there probably always will be. But it's cyclical. Likewise, yeah, yeah. Many, 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 many thousands of years ago. And we're in that process again. The pole is moving towards Russia. The North Pole is moving towards Russia. The South Pole, I think, is moving up towards Argentina, maybe, South America. And that's happening. Now, another thing that's happening is that the ice, there's less ice on the North Pole, and there's more ice on the South Pole. So you've got shifting ice. The weather's shifting a little bit. And they don't talk about the ice buildup in the South. All they talk about is the shrinking up on the North. But there's an agenda. They have an agenda. And I oftentimes, I drive to work in the morning, and there's the limited news channels that I can get. I'm limited in my news channels. And in the morning, the best channel I get is one here in Victoria that's also in Corpus, NPR News, public radio. And they're putting out some liberal, woke, leftist. Yeah, I mean, what they put out is like, they try to, it's like veiled. It's not that blatant, but it's blatant. If you're looking, it's blatant. If you're listening, it's blatant. Ala Canada, thank you for coming in. 14 in the house. So you live in a beautiful part of the world, Ia. You do. You live in a beautiful part of the world. The Philippines, we should have incorporated it the way we did Hawaii. We really should have incorporated the Philippines. And that may still happen someday. You never know if things get straightened out. Fire and ice, yeah. There are places that are hotter than they've been. There are places that are colder than they've been. You know, so there's always, there is climate change. The climate's always changing. The weather changes. That's climate. It's cyclical. We have a summer, we have a winter, we have a spring, we have a fall, we have transitions. And, we have what's called the Ring of Fire around the Pacific Rim. They're plates, plate tectonics. There are about 13 plates. The planet consists of 13 different major plates that they've identified. And where those plates come together, those are faults. So, like they're always talking about, there's going to be a big one out in California, San Andreas Fault. Well, that's on that specific Pacific Rim plate line. And ever so often, those plates, which are always stressed out with one another, something gives. And when something gives, you have an earthquake. And another thing, yes, Filipino women are gorgeous. All countries have beautiful women, and all countries have, homely women. When you get older, most everybody's homely. Look at me, I'm homely. I was nice looking when I was young. I had nice hair, and I wore contact lenses, and I was blonde. I was slender. I was pretty nice looking when I was young. I'm old now. Jocelyn, thank you for coming in, Jocelyn. Jocelyn's vlog of Taiwan. So, what I tell people when people ask, I tell them that you need to be prepared for a storm, for a freeze, for a hurricane, power outages. Everything runs on power. You got to have power. Otherwise, you go back a couple hundred years. You have to have a reliable power source. The energy grid. If something happened to the energy grid, what would that do? What sort of chaos would that cause if the energy grid broke down temporarily or for an extended period of time? What would happen? Well, deliveries would probably be messed up, for one. Resupplies might not be happening. You might not have cellular coverage, the internet. There are certain things you won't have because the power's off. Sue Me, thank you for coming in, Sue Me. And oh, please. I had one of my kids, I have an 11-year-old girl that's in my class, and she's got issues. I have an aide who's like 25 years old. My daughter's 25. I have an aide that's that age, young man, nice young man. And I have a lady who's an aide, and she's like the age of my wife. She's like in her early 50s. And I'm 61 years old. I'll tell you, I'm 61. So this girl thought that my female aide was 20, and she thought I'm 30. And I've said times two, times two. Um, a lot of people can't judge age. They don't know what to look for to judge age. Yeah, that's true. The first few days would probably be okay. First week or so, it would probably be okay. Couple of weeks, a month. Mm, what will happen is when people start running out of water because the water's not flowing and there's not clean water available for them and they don't have a means to clean it, people will be getting sick. They'll be drinking stuff they shouldn't and they'll be getting sick. Likewise, food will be running out because most people aren't going to have, a month's worth of food, much less 6 months worth of food. And then they're going to start begging. First, they'll try to go to people that they know and see if they get help. They may go to the public sources and try to get some help. And if that's not available and they're trying to feed their family, they're willing to start breaking the law. And you get in a situation where you try to stop them, might get violent. And law enforcement might start breaking down. And when law enforcement starts breaking down, then it goes to backwoods justice. Well, 90 years is old. I've got an uncle who's 92. Uncle Lucian passed at 94. My Uncle Howard, who's the baby of my father's family, 92. He's the only one left. Everybody else is gone. Most of the ladies lived into their 80s. A couple of them didn't. My father was 64 when he passed. He was a tobacco user. He used tobacco for over 50 years, and he died of a brain tumor. They didn't find it until it was too advanced. They operated on him. He didn't wake up from the operation. I was 14 years old when that happened. Oh, please don't go there. I don't roll that way. I do not want a man hitting on me. No, no. Sorry. And I am married. But if I wasn't, I don't go that way. Fine for you, not for me. And I know you're just playing. So I've got a procedure after Christmas. I'm having a colonoscopy. Next week, not this coming week, but the week after next, I will go and I'll have blood drawn. And hopefully they'll do whatever they need to do for my regular blood drawing. Then in January, I'll go to for my yearly doctor's visit, get my medications refilled, my year script of my medications. Now, if countries started having problems with their grids, there are some places that are very rural. Nobody'd even know it. Very few people would know it. Because that's the way they live. There are advanced places that'd be screwed in a hurry. Yeah, everybody has to keep up on doctor's appointments. That's true. Excuse me a second. Good Lord. Sounds like I'm blowing a horn. Sorry. Oh, man. Can't even make the trash can. Oh, shoot. Still draining. Uh, Mike Crusher Reviews. Thanks for coming in, Mike. So, I did a short this morning, and I put a short together, and it has like 111, 112 views. And I did a video, which was me getting tacos and my coffee, and it has about 50 views. I dropped both of those today, and I indicated, "Take care, Uncle Al." Um, so whew. So I did I did the I did the short, and I did the video, and I still have not hit 1,500. It's really funny. I've been floating at 1,485, 1,486. I really haven't been doing outreach. If they come to me, I subscribe them. Like, usually, if somebody new comes into my live stream, I will subscribe them. I link them, and I give them a standard moderator. Hopefully they subscribe me. And that's how I've been growing, basically. But it's been over 2 months since I've done a subscriber giveaway. So whereas I was picking up over 100 subscribers a month, last couple of months I picked up 40 some odd. Mr. Whistle, thanks for coming in. And there are channels that you would call them a growth channel, and all they're basically about is trying to grow their channel as far as numbers. And I'm sure they're wanting to get watch time, because that's how you make money. You get your watch hours, and then they start, you're monetized, and then it's like, ads, short ads, video ads. I'm glad you're doing good. I hope everybody does good. I hope everybody does good. But when I was not working, I was putting in 7-8 hours a day on my YouTube channel, and I was getting really good results from it. I was putting out a lot of videos, putting out a lot of shorts, and my channel's really growing. I was really growing my channel. Now, there are people who are monetized. They've got channels that have over 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 7,000 or 8,000 subscribers. And they're monetized. And they may be getting a check every month, or every couple, whenever they pay. They may be getting a $150, $200 check, $250 check. And you think, well, some places that have a very low standard of living, if you get a check for $200 American money, that's like a couple of $1,000s here, as far as the way they live and what they spend money on and what it costs for living. But you look over here, you get a check $100, $150, $200. That's nothing. Pay a few bills. Now, I went back to work. And I'm making, I don't know, I'd have to figure it out. But working, I'm making $250 to $300 a day, as opposed to $250, $300 a month monetized on YouTube. I don't work on the weekends. I go in early. I'm out 4:30. My weekends are my own, all my holidays. Education's really a good thing to be in. You're not going to get rich, but it's a decent living. I also get a retirement check putting 30 years in. So I could basically live on my retirement, but my wife's health is really costing me a lot of money. My kids' education's costing me a lot of money. And not working and having a lot of extra money that I have to put out regularly, and I'm not that old. So I'm back working. Yes, after the live stream is over, if you would please go back and leave me if you hadn't, leave me a like and a comment. If you missed part of the stream, I would appreciate it if you'd stream the whole thing. There are people that, will run a full replay and I'll get an hour's watch time from it. And if I know you're doing that for me, I will do that for you. I mean, I run playlists all the time, and I'll run playlists with people on it and give them watch time. There's another guy who is an educator. He's a teacher. He has not retired. He's young. He's younger than I am. He's a middle school teacher. I think he also coaches. And his name is Bert, and his channel is Bert's Beats. Modern Day Breakfast Club. He came out with the hashtag Modern Day Breakfast Club. There's a number of channels that support that. So you could go over to his community wall, and he's listed all the channels that support Modern Day Breakfast Club. And the idea is that when somebody hashtags Modern Day Breakfast Club, anybody who's supports Modern Day Breakfast Club is supposed to view and leave a comment on, whatever they're posting. So there's a group, which I have joined. I started using the hashtag. And there are a few channels that have come to me from that. I haven't went over there and jumped onto them, and, they haven't come over and jumped onto me, but there's a few of them. So I encourage you, if you're wanting to, and yeah, YouTube is a hobby. I'm going to post up and share Jocelyn's other channel. Well, she's got multiple channels, but here's another one. Oh, Echo, living my best life at 60. Hello, Echo. Guru of baseball cards. Guru Dave, my friend. I'm starting I'm starting to work on boxes for Christmas and gifts for Christmas and such. So there are going to be some folks. I'm not going to say who they are, but there will be some folks that will be getting some stoves and fuel tabs, and it comes with 24, and here's an extra 24 pack. There's some folks that are going to be getting this stove with some sterno in their goodie box. I'm going to be sweetening the pot on some. I'm making my list. I'm checking it twice. And I'm going to figure out who's naughty and nice. And I'll be sending some stuff out to different people. Where you go with your bad self? 1321. You're going to be passing me before you know it, Guru. You said you're going to pass me, and you probably will. Blessings. And Bus Stop, my son, made it over 1,000. A lot of people made over 1,000. A la Canada made over 1,000 here a while back. And Echo's trying to get up there at 1,000. She's working on it. She's growing. She's already over 3,000 watch hours. I think she's over 3,000 watch hours. And Jocelyn's one of the big channels in here. She's got like 8,000 subscribers. She's a beautiful lady over in, I think Jocelyn's in Taiwan. I think she's Filipino living in Taiwan, if I understand correctly. She and Margie and Dea, and they both got good sized channels, and I'm subscribed to both of them. Ia's vlog, she's over in the Philippines. She's got they're all at 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 subscribers. Hell, Bus Stop, you might want it past me, son. Slow as I'm going. I'm in the slow lane. Good night, Sumi. Thank you. Uncle Al, good night. Thank you. I'm about 45 minutes in. And 16 likes, 9 in the house. Yeah, there probably are. You know, a lot of ladies, they have a child. Maybe they were married to the guy, maybe they weren't married to the guy, maybe they're divorced, maybe their husband passed away or whatever, and they're single and they've got a daughter, or they've got a son, maybe they got a couple, you know, younger ladies. A lot of older, you know, men my age that are single, maybe they divorced or maybe their wife passed away, you know, they got a real good income, they move over to a country over in Asia, you know, have a good living over there. retired, and they find themselves a younger lady, maybe 40 years old or like 60, and they find a 40-year-old lady and have a good relationship with her. Help raise her kid. She's got some kids, that aren't grown yet. They may even have a kid themselves, depending if she's young enough to still have children. And more power to them. They each have something to offer, and companionship and all that sort of stuff. Okay. Yeah, it's 13 hours difference. Over in Taiwan, over in Philippines, it's 13 hours. They're 13 hours ahead of us. So, like when I go on at 7 p.m. here, it's 8 o'clock in the morning over there. Yep, Modern Day Breakfast Club. Thank you. Appreciate it. I will be talking to you 9:50 a.m. here. Yes, about 8:50 there. It's about 8:50 here, so it's 9:50 there. Yeah. Yep. I got that one down. You're back. So, what I tell people, 10 in the house, 19 likes. Help me get number 20. Help me get number 20. 20 likes. And there may be 20 likes. I just don't know. But what I'm showing on my iPad is 19. So it's important. You see 20. Okay, thank you. It is important. Thank you, Lee. It is important to prepare. The Boy Scout motto is be prepared. Girl Scout, Boy Scout motto is about preparation. Are you ready? Have you trained? Do you know what you need to know? It'd be a good idea for everybody to go and take a first aid training course. Learn CPR, how to do the Heimlich maneuver, how to use a electrical stimulation, device, and I forget what they call them, but if you had to shock somebody with paddles, knowing how to do that, if it was available, knowing how to deal with somebody who's got a broken arm or broken leg, how to basically put a splint in place temporarily, how to use a tourniquet, the proper way to use a tourniquet, how to staunch bleeding if somebody's got a bad cut or gash, what you do. You need a good kit. They call them trauma kits, but you need a real good kit, and then you need to add a few things to it. You need a couple of pressure bandages. You need a tourniquet in it. You need bleed stop if it doesn't come with bleed stop. Do you know how to take blood pressure? I learned to take blood pressure 40 years ago. My mother, may she rest in peace, suffered from high blood pressure. An EAD, AED. Yeah, a defibrillator. Well, you see all these westerns. and they're all shooting from horseback, or they're, their horses and everything's around them and they're shooting. Um, a gunshot is very loud. It hurts your hearing. Now, mind you, a horse has better hearing than a human. Can you imagine riding on a horse and all of a sudden you fire a weapon as loud as it is? If a horse hasn't been trained for that, they're going to buck you off. A horse is going to spook. And they will buck you off. That was my wife. I just don't take the call right now. And yeah, if an animal like a horse gets a broken leg, they usually put it down. Certain animals and such, you get something, they'll just put them down. If you take medication, you want to try to build up a supply of it. You want to have as much of it on hand as you can. If you can get a doctor to write you a script for a year, insurance normally will pay for a 90-day supply every 90 days. And if you can afford it, I'd pay for it, and then put it in a rotation with what the insurance paid for, where you can try to have like a year's worth. You can always keep a year's worth, rotating it. So if something happens, you still got your medication. So I did some posts on my community wall today. I post some shots of some preps. Right now, a 1 pound green propane canister that you would like use in a buddy heater, or you could use like a little stove, different means, cooktop, whatever. They're going for about $5 a can. You buy like a 6-pack, like right at $30 over at Sam's Club. I posted some pictures with images. Canned heat, you get a 12-pack of that. It's $20 or so. And a 4-pack of butane, the 8-ounce bottles of the little butane, which you can use like on a butane stove or whatever runs on butane. 4-pack of that's about $9. Yeah, medication's very valuable. There's a shortage of medication. They're not putting it out the way they were. Certain places, we get a lot of our stuff from India or from China. Why, I do not know. Certain things should be made domestically, just out of national security. The price of gas has been dropping. Oil is about $70 a barrel right now. OPEC's going to try to ease up on production to try to stabilize the price of oil. Three-pack of butane for $7. That's not bad. if you go to Sam's, you can get a 4-pack for about $9. 4 packs. I mean, I got stuff all over the bloody place. 8-ounce cans. But yeah, antibiotics will be very valuable. If you can buy some, buy them. If you can buy some, buy them. So I missed 3 days this week being sick. I didn't live stream. People thought, what the world happened? And I do appreciate everybody who comes in, spends time with me. I try to support as many of you as I can with watch time when I can. I'm working now, so I don't have the time I did before. It's all I can do to try to come on and do my 1-hour live stream in the evenings. And I don't do it when I'm really tired and I don't feel good. And I've been sick. Oh, I don't think anything's going to happen. The fact that I keep stuff in here, I mean, I've got about 100 gallons of water over there in the corner stacked up. These 3-gallon, I stack them 3 high. Then I have a, I've got a CO2 smoke detector hanging. I've been upgrading with the 10-year battery. I've got them, been replacing the older ones that I had. You got to replace and upgrade stuff. So I'm going to be retiring my AGM batteries and going to lithium ion, the 100 amp hour batteries. You can get them now for about $250 a piece. I mean, is it safe? Well, is it safe for me to have 25,000 rounds of ammunition in my gun case over here? Is that safe? Yeah, I understand you get nervous. I used to always get nervous around a gas stove. I always thought, pilot's going to go out. It's going to be somebody's going to come and smoke and they're going to blow the place up. And nothing wrong with safety and getting nervous, lady. There's nothing wrong with that. So, use good judgment. Try to use good judgment. Read the instructions, and when you buy something, read instructions. Know it's like I'll tell you. You can burn these inside, but they stink. I've got Espit tablets. I've got these tablets. For different little stoves, and you can burn them inside, and they'll heat your water and everything, but they stink. The sterno, the canned heat does not stink. You can burn it inside. It's not gonna, Matter of fact, you burn a couple of cans of the stuff, it'll heat your room. So, always be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of who's around you. My father always told me, don't you go into a restaurant, you go into a bar, you go someplace, don't sit with your back to the door. Always see who's coming in. You know, it's like the Old West. I live in a carry state. It's a red state. Concealed carry, open carry. They're always talking about gun control. Gun control, gun control. And I believe in gun control. You know, like the old joke. Gun control is being able to hit your target. That's gun control. So, it's another week. This is the last week before Christmas. I'll have 17 days off. I've got to finish my grades, get my attendance done. I have to do what's called IEP progress reports. I've got to prep up for a couple of ARDs for early January, write IEPs, write a PLAF, you know, all sorts of stuff. And so, oh, and my daughter's finished her courses. Graduation's is coming Saturday, but she's not going to participate in it. More, you know, I participated in my high school graduation, and you know, when I went to college, university, I never participated in graduation. I did one, both times when I got my 2 master's degrees, I took portraits. I've got one in all the regalia, cap and gown and all that, and then I've got another one of me in a suit. Back in the days when I had hair and I looked better, and you know, wearing contact lenses. I need to dig those out and show them to you. You'll say, "Is that me? That's you? Did you look that?" You know, it's like, you know, I was never gorgeous, but I was nice looking. You know, back in the days. And then as you get older, you start looking like me. But, well, you know, it's good that you did. Baby poop brown. I hated my graduation. When I graduated from high school, God almighty, I hated graduation. Uh, just the ceremony and the BS that you go through. And you know, and I was a high school principal, and you know, going through with the, you know, I did what I had to do, but you know, it's an obligation. So I will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Lord willing, the water doesn't rise in the creek or whatever. I appreciate y'all coming in, and I appreciate your support. If you have not, go look at my latest short. It'll take you less than a minute. Um, it's some items that I purchased, prices in it. If you want to look at where I go to eat my tacos and the process I go through usually in the morning to get the coffee and tacos, look at my video that's like 3 minutes long. Please leave me a like and a supportive comment. And if you want to be in the running for the 1,500 subscriber giveaway, leave me a like and a supportive comment in the last 5 videos that I drop prior to turning 1,500. And I'm probably going to force the issue by going and subscribing some channels and watching a few videos and then getting them to subscribe me. You know, the exchange of friendship. Remember to be prepared. Life is good. It is what it is. And everybody have a blessed day. I will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time, for another edition of Coffee Talk. Bye-bye.